Ponder this. I'm stalling for a while because, well, I'm trying to give a little bit of time for the followers because I'm still on private. And so for other followers to get notified, for those that are not busy and for those that are legit. Okay, because I am clearly aware of what this is. But we're going to ponder some things. This is just discussion. Okay. And here are my disclaimers for social media and TikTok. Viewer and hearer discretion is advised, number one. Number two, this is for information, educational purposes only. This is not by no means to replace any form of professional guidance or advice. Once again, this is my opinion. These are things that I am pondering, and this is also me exercising my, I don't even want to call them rights anymore, because I'm gonna look into that. My civil rights, my civil left's rights, up, down, vertical, horizontal, all around, in and out. Because it's like, when you start really understanding, okay, what does that mean? Okay, what does it really mean? Well, anywho, the freedoms, right? Of speech, all that stuff, okay? And again, opinion. So if this is not your view or opinion, it is not the end of the world, okay? Gosh, I really wish we would all grow up. For realsies. And you heard correct, for realsies. I really wish we'd all grow up. It's okay. This is what I'm starting to look at and view, So in the Western Hemisphere of the world, and the United States of America specifically, a part of our governmental system, including the judicial system, you have it on our U.S. currency, you have it on many of our buildings, especially federal government buildings or state buildings. If you were to go to court, okay, God and Bible is referenced, okay, and it's on our money. In God we trust. Now I'm kind of low key. I'm wondering, what God is that? But neither here nor there, because the crazy making that people go through, the targeted individuals or people who are spiritual, one of the things that becomes humor, becomes something that is patronized or condescended upon is, they have connections to their ancestors or otherworldly energies and things like that. That's something that's made a mockery of. That is something that, would be brought into question, that person's mental health, if you were going to courts or things like that, these are some of the things that would be weighed in, brought into question, whether or not an individual is cognizant, whether or not there should be viewed as considered to be someone of a sound mind and able-bodied and sound mind, because they believe, they talk to their ancestors, and they believe they have connections with otherworldly energy and stuff like that. So here's what I'm asking you all to ponder, and here's something that I've started to ponder. So why isn't that same viewpoint applied to In God We Trust? Why isn't that brought into question, the mental health? If there is somebody saying they believe in God, or they talked to God, or God told them, based on that religion, will they too be weighed in or brought into question, questionable mental health? Because they believe they heard God, or God put it on their heart, or God, in the form of Holy Spirit, or, whatever told them or led them or put the impression upon, like whatever language, will those people, what is this writing over the Bible stuff? They are obviously saying that they believe in a God that they can't see. So it's not questionable, their mental health of the country. I'm just throwing out, these are just things to play with. Haven't you ever wondered, what's the mockery when people don't have a problem with believing somebody was praying to an invisible God? They don't have a problem with that. They don't have a problem with anybody, saying that they was in their prayer closet and, they were spending time with the Lord and all of that kind of stuff. They don't have a problem with that. They're not squinting their eyes. They're not side-eyeing like this person may be mental. It's something widely accepted as normal. And why? And why, if someone's spirituality exhibits, the similar faith or the similar kinds of practices, why is that looked upon? Who determined it? Have you ever wondered? People have Bibles all over the place. And scriptures, and it's on, it's in their cars, it's in their offices, and now in this case we're talking government, state, court, and U.S. currency. I'm not here, this particular discussion is not here for getting into trying to convince people of what to believe. What this conversation is looking at from an objective, matter of fact, all things being equal position. If it's something that it's on the U.S. currency, something that is recognized, is something that is implemented, has anybody ever wondered that? I don't know if they're still doing that in court, but it's like raise your right hand and put your left hand over the Bible, or raise your left hand and put your right hand over the Bible. Like, what is that? Is that a spell? Is that a ritual? But also, that is based on that particular religion. That's based on a God and practices and things of that nature in which you cannot see. So should we be evaluating then on a global or governmental or state level, the mental health. I know this is going to tick a lot of people off because cognitive dissonance, and it's like turning on a light in a dark room when you're not ready to wake up. You know how you still sleep from a hangover, or you're still sleep from the night before, or you just got a good sleep in because you've been wilding out, or whatever the case may be, and then you got somebody coming in bright eyed, bushy tail, want to come up in there all early and shit and cut on all the lights. And that hurts. Haven't you ever wondered, why do you squint your eyes? Like, think about all those things. Why do you squint? It's like cut on all the lights or open the windows and the sun is beaming and the person like squint like, oh my God. Like, why? Because it hurts. You're used to the darkness. It's uncomfortable. It seems harsh, doesn't it? It removes all the comforts, the security of the darkness. I feel like that's why a lot of people are so upset. It's like the shallow Hal effect being taken off on a government level and pertaining to spirituality and God. Because remember how pissed he was in the movie when his friend had Tony, whatever the dude name is, to take off the hypnosis so that he can see his girlfriend, right? It's like, oh, you ruined it. He saw her as a supermodel. To him, that was how I was able to see her. And so I think people be mad because it's like, you can't erase once you start to really sniff and kind of go, wait, that is true. Like, what is that? And why is that? And it's to keep people in line. And so when spiritual people or folks that has a different view, it's like, okay, oh, I know how we can get them. I know what we can do. We can exploit their spirituality and say they have some kind of a mental illness. We'll do some kind of torturous things to them in the background, pretending to not do those things. And when reactive abuse happens, or when they, which is a normal process if you study behavioral health and behavioral science and, disorders and traumas and abuse, then you know it's normal. But when they act out, we'll then say, oh, see, they crazy. This person's mental capacities. We need someone to have power of attorney. Yeah, they always trying to have some power of attorney over some shit. Okay, again, a power is power. It's right in the sentence. We'll say that they're mentals. This is how we'll get them. We'll say they're of the darkness or something. We'll come up with something. They're talking to their ancestors or spirit guide, whatever. And we'll say they're nutso. We'll say that they're not sound. But we're not going to say that we're not sound because we believe in a God that we can see. We're not going to say that as we have people, it says in God we trust on our currency. We're not going to say that about ourselves. We're not going to say that. That's normalized. But individuals that has a different viewpoint, that's practicing and exercising, their constitutional freedoms, we're gonna try to use that to weigh in and say this person is not of sound mind. Y'all see it yet? I saw in a video somewhere that somebody said the U.S. is an abuse culture. It's abuse culture. And it's starting to make sense to me. The reason why I feel like stuff like this is important to just sit back and ponder, because it's going to thread a lot of things together for us as we're reviewing and looking, when we're ready to really look at shit and stop playing, when we're really ready. Because why is one thing normalized and the other thing isn't? Why is one thing widely accepted even though it still has the same variables in a sense of he can't show up at court? But it says, in God we trust on the currency. And like I said, I don't know if they're still practicing this in court proceedings or not, or certain court proceedings or not, where the witness or takes on the stand, and they would say, raise your left hand, put your right hand on the Bible. Like, have you ever wondered what is that? What's that supposed to mean? So just because this person did this, that means it's for sure then, because they raised it. What does that mean? Should that be viewed? Again, I'm just throwing it out there as something to think of. Should that be viewed as something like, well, what if we want to talk mental health? If we want to talk about someone's mental health capacities, if somebody is of sound mind, able-bodied and sound mind or not? I mean, if any of us got any cash on us, because a lot of us don't carry cash, but if any of us got any cash on you and you pulled out, you pulled out and got it, okay, okay, because, yeah. Or like I said, if you lean into, spiritual Christianity, nobody is side-eyeing people saying that they were in their prayer closet for an hour, spending time with the Lord. Ain't nobody saying that they're, on a global scale, on a governmental scale, I should say. I'm not going to say ain't nobody, but on a global scale, governmental scale, or if this person's going to church, a regular church goer, tithing and offerings, dedication stuff, ain't nobody saying that, nothing. Even if they're financially strapped, ain't nobody questioning the person's capacities of soundness if they're up here giving monies regularly, routinely, and yet they're still financially having problems. They're not barely able to, pay their bills or take care of themselves or their children, or, they're barely able. Nobody's questioning, is that person sound because of what they're doing with their money, on a government, state level. They're weekly giving this and this and this. Maybe they're not, maybe they should not have, maybe they need someone to have power of attorney Because apparently, they are mismanagement of their monies. Okay, they are not making proper decisions. They only have. I'm playing with this because it's something that we need to do. They only have this amount of income at this time, and they have this, many children or responsibilities, and they're giving 10+%, which is like an average tax. If you think about it from that perspective, interesting, huh? 10+% every service they attend, or every week, or every month, or however you want to look at that. And they have all of these financial troubles, and they're caught up with this and that. Maybe we need to evaluate if they're a sound mind and able-bodied or not. Maybe there needs to be someone to have power of attorney over their finances and anything that belongs to them, whether that's an inheritance, a gift left to them, or a home. Maybe they're not of sound mind, because they're talking about they're in their prayer closet with the Lord for an hour, and they are giving away their monies, and yet they're barely able to take care of what they have. So there's negligence here. We can argue that it's fair to say that there's negligence, because maybe then this person doesn't have sound mind and able body, based on the fact that we're evaluating. They're saying they're talking to God, and they're saying that they spend a time with the Lord, and that they're giving away 10+% of their money, even though they're already under the poverty line. And we could then argue and question, maybe there's someone that should have power of attorney over their finances or anything major, because their own confession is this is who they are and what they're doing. But we don't do that, do we? Nope. Because it's a reason for that. But that becomes something weaponized for a spiritual person that's not in alignment with, given to their causes. A spiritual person that's calling out bullshit, that's not donating and giving to those types of things, that's aligning to their sovereignty, and then communing with their ancestry, even otherworldly ancestry, because other ancestry, depending on your origins, is not just human, but star energy. That is something that they'll put in highlight, bold, italics, underscore, all caps, highlighter. Okay? That the individual should be questioned, that their mental stability and soundness should be brought into question, because they're talking to their ancestors. Because they are buying crystals, and crystals is of the devil. Crystals come from the very earth that they are, the very plane of existence in which they have tarot cards. These very people believe in astrology. They call themselves a Gemini or a Libra. Don't know it's all one and the same, because it's all about energy. These same people gamble They get lottery tickets. You know, it's amazing. They play cards. They just call them something different. They have their crosses, you know, they have their paraphernalia and memorabilia all over the place. And that's normalized. It's normalized to see crosses, to see your crosses with Jesus on it, with Jesus on it, without Jesus on it. Is it's normalized. And ain't nobody saying, or should I say, let me rephrase that, on a grander macro scale, government, state level, especially as it pertains to the judicial system, okay, or law. Ain't nobody saying maybe this person, you know, maybe we need to say their mental health should be questioned. People going up to people. Let's play with some of this that we call evangelism, that we call outreaching. Normalizing abuse culture. Going up to people that's minding their own business, basically running them down. You know what I'm saying? Touching people without their permission because they were led. Going up to people and, you know, intruding on people's personal time, personal space, uninvited when they don't want it. Telling people they're going to be tortured, and you know what I'm saying? And yet that's not looked upon as maybe we need to call into question, because we're doing all of that, but we cannot even address literal, you know, actual literal violations to other people properly. We can't even seem to get a handle of that. We can't manage. Driving around, you know, out of one side of the mouth, and God we trust, on the other side of the mouth, violating one's own very citizens and human other beings. Maybe that's something that needs to be on the table to evaluate mental health stability. They spend all their time in church, you know, I'm not here to, this is not a discussion to tell people. It's an invitation to remove our emotion and our sacred cows and attachment just for 5 minutes and put a pin in it. And we can go back to it if we want to afterwards. Because cognitive dissonance is going to be a motherfucker. That's a part of the process. But to just sit there on a matter of fact, how many of us know, you know, especially if you're anything like me, some of us spend a lot of time in church. Become all consumed And as a result, you don't spend a lot of time, with those that you love. You don't get to do a lot of other things because there's only so much. If you have kids, they don't get to have normalcy. It's 24/7 church. And outside of that, school. Nobody's calling that into question. Ain't nobody saying, maybe we should evaluate the mental capacities because they don't have balance here. They're giving all their money away. They're giving all these big donations because prophet so and so is in town. But they can't even get little Susie. Little Susie want to be, in this such and such in that school. They don't got the money for that. Or little John need braces, or, or dental work, or whatever. And it's like, well, we can't do that. We can't never afford nothing. It's always someday, soon, one day, maybe. But we can consistently give this money over here to the church. One of the favorite scriptures that I used to love, and that, back in the day, and that was always something preached on some level or another, is give and it should be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, something like that. And we used to have a song, and that would come on, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That baby, pressed down, shaken together, running over, in the favor of God. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, running. And you be running to the altar and shit, you be doing the crib walk and shit, over, shit. I mean, you're not saying that, but I recall, this is usually the go pay your tithe and offering music, okay? Shit. Press down, holding money and shit. Like shit, running over. Right? Feel excited? You feel them hormones elevate? Feeling hopeful? Giving leaders the Holy Ghost handshake? Certain ones, putting that money, pressed down, shaking together, And next month, it's the same story. You're still one day late, $1 short. Then you got to go borrow money from the church. Then you got to go ask the church a favor. Essentially, if they're able to, you basically got to go, you're doing all that, but you got to go ask them a favor. Okay, and essentially then they're just giving you what you gave back anyway, but that's a whole nother video. I'm not really here to get into that. But all I'm simply saying is, isn't it worth pondering? If we want to talk about questioning people's mental health, but because something is more widely accepted, then it's like it's not brought into question. Like maybe they have other mental health needs there. Maybe they are more likely than to be violating other people. Maybe there's other instabilities underneath And maybe that's an indication. Abuse culture. I remember sharing with you all on one of my videos that back when there used to be this social media platform. I don't know why they closed it down. I don't know what happened. It was called Periscope. And because, see, I've been podcasting and creating content in social media for years, even when I was on a religious path. And so I had a Periscope, and I remember I was hanging out at a pool one night. This is when I was in Vegas, and I was on a Periscope Live, and, you know, I was a professing Christian at that time. And we had spiritualists or New Agers, whoever would come in and basically make their comments and say religion is for the ignorant and it's for the poor, or it's for something like that. And I remember responding even then on some level, either I'll say it or I type it like, hey, or sometimes I would downright ignore it. And then have a discussion like, listen, to each his own. Right? You have to journey your life. Why are you here? Why are you intruding on someone else's content and platform? Go and speak your truth and all of that. That's great. Hopefully that is what you're utilizing your platform for. You're trying to share your enlightenment. But why are you harassing others? See, I've always felt this way. It's not just because I'm on this side of it. I always felt like that. I've always been that type, even when I was on a religious path. Like, hey, you have the right to have your view, talk about your view, but why are you coming to somebody else's house? Even if it's a public sector, why are you coming to somebody else's house? Go say your things, unless they've invited you, unless they have asked. Like, that's my personal opinion. And I believe that's the narcissistic culture. Even when you're in spirituality, it's like this entitlement. I'm gonna harass all of you. I'm gonna come to all your shit, huh? And then be pissed when that same thing is done in reverse. It doesn't work like that. At least it shouldn't. The liberties and the freedoms that we want to express and have honored and respected is the same that we need to be giving. So with that being said, doesn't it bring into question that kind of energy's mental health? Because mental health is not just about someone looking like they're always nervous or agitated. It's not just about somebody that's chemically or hormonally imbalanced and what that may or may not look like. It's not just about, someone in these images and pictures that we get when we believe somebody is possibly mentally compromised. It's not just about a look of somebody not able to keep themselves or groom themselves. Mental health is also dealing with these sorts of things: respect of others, maturation, critical thinking, balance. Those are things that should be weighed in if you want to be evaluating mental health, because you can have something mental health compromised, but they don't fit the bill of what we think that looks like. They appear to have their hormones in balance. They appear, they're well kept, well groomed. They're taking showers, they're taking baths. Mental health, oftentimes the reason why folks are in that energy is because they've been abused and drained and depleted. With the exception of narcissism. I hear that certain types of narcissistic personalities, there's a correlation to some of that. But you see where I'm going? Shouldn't we call into question somebody's fancy house? Shouldn't I get them out of being looked at for possible mental Have you ever wondered why is one thing widely accepted and the other one isn't? Why is one thing looked at as sound mind, even though there's missing components to it? They can't show up. There's nothing tangible you can connect to it. And then on the other side, ooh, they're crazy. Or, ooh, they're demonic. And what does that even mean? I'm starting to question if a lot of this stuff is reversed. If more often than not, this mirror, if it's reversed. I've said it and I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. If you are somebody who need to have power and control over a situation and you are benefiting off of ignorance in some way, shape, form, or fashion, that you're becoming wealthy, you're rich, you're monopolizing something, you're hoarding something, and you want to be able to keep it that way, but ignorance is necessary. There's a level of ignorance that has to be maintained on a grand macro scale. And if that is you, what would you do to make sure that's so? How far would you go? What would you do? And one of the things you do is make people afraid of their own sovereignty and autonomy, and make people fear for their lives and fear for their spirit, fear for their soul, make something out to be a monster. You'll do anything, just like we do with our kids. When we're trying to convince our children when they're little, certain things, we'll go, don't do that. That's going to, we'll come up with some creative lies, hoping that that's going to spook them, at least for the time being, to spook them enough to stay away from something. In some cases, there's no reason for it, but because, let's say, we just need them to leave something alone. We need them to not. And the only way we can get them to not is to create some kind of a now on a global scale, on a grand scale, on a state scale, on a government scale. Why would that be any different? I do not consent and I do not accept none of their trash, none of their projections, none of their tricks, none of their sorcery. And I command it break and shatter into oblivion irreparably. And I command my origin, original, blueprint normalcy, mind, body, and soul, ethically, light body, energetically, in every way. Abracadabra, and so it is. Let there be light. reflection and deflection in my energy field and space. There it is. Okay, so with that being said, I want to do a little quickie pull here. I'm going to upload this onto my YouTube. I may just upload it, just a regular public upload, okay? We'll see how I'm guided. We'll see what I decide to do. Ooh, child. So let's see. Okay, I just saw that one, and this one. So let's see what we have here. Okay. Woo. I want to talk about ignorance a little bit, and this is how it benefits people, and how then they would want to put it under some kind of category of a person not being mentally sound or something demonic. Now, I'm going to give an example of what's widely recognized as demonic before I get into what I'm going to do here. So this is something that for some is recognized or looked upon as either like horns or demonic, right? Some of us, this is what you're told, this is what you're taught. And if you see somebody doing this, then in your mind's eye, you are automatically believing that they're doing some kind of devil worship based on what you've been taught and told. Now remember, we're talking about on a macro scale, if they benefit off of your ignorance, why they have to create something to make you afraid. Now, what if I told you, and you can ponder that this, and if you were to do your own due diligence, your own experiment, what if I told you that this has nothing to do with none of that? Necessarily, or should I say necessarily or inherently? What if I told you that on a metaphysical or physics and physiological level, that we have pressure points in our hands that's connected to the meridians throughout our body, that's connected to the organs within our body? That every finger, there's nerve endings and connections to chakras and meridians. And certain pressure points and certain hand mudras does different things. What if I told you that this is one of the mudras that is for clearing energy and detoxing the body? Which will benefit you, which won't benefit them. See it yet? So let's do this real quick. So this is going to be for the collective. This is for you. This is something that you have, come to realize. You started questioning things, pondering things. So we're going to pick up on what's being liberated for you, but how they're trying to crazy make you with all of that. And this is because this is what they're afraid of you fully embodying, as well as others, because then it's going to take the power, at least they perceive the power, control, the leverage, the monopolization. Okay. Whoa. Cap is already showing up, baby. You already showing up, baby. You already showing up. Capricorn, the boss. The boss. It says serious, authoritative, ambition, realistic, structured, traditional, wise, enduring, accomplished, badass, majestic, competent, nigga. See, an unhealed or unevolved Capricorn is a nightmare, because all of those same traits exist in its shadow form. Okay, they'll be the main ones resisting evolving. Okay, but the ones that happen to Caps that are unevolved, they're very greedy, very selfish, and entitled. So if somebody's knowledge and empowerment is going to take away from that, that's a problem for them. Black cube. You know something about that Saturn black cube. You know something about these control systems. Okay? It says Saturn wisdom. You've gained some kind of wisdom here. Difficulty, restraint, grounding, practicality, control, realism, maturity. You learned something about that. And I told you, there's the enlightenment. I told you. You learned something about it. It's the sun here. I have wisdom, being. And with this egg, this is definitely, Empress, crack something wide open, birthing something. Definitely here. Essence, energy, self-awareness, life force. You learned something about what was stealing life force energy. Maybe the Saturn cube, the Saturn box, the control systems. And there's actual boxes around the universe, around the world. Yep. And they don't like that, child, with the Saturn and the sun here, child. Sextile opportunities. Yes. And see, they feel like you'll look at that creative energy. Look at them chakras, them colors there. It says collaborates, assists. They don't want that. Synergies, possibilities, promises, insight, communicates, develops. Mm. They know that if this happens for people, this is going to create, they have limitless opportunities that they can create, right? And they may believe, look at, I told you, fourth house. That's why they got to fuck good. Fourth house in the reverse. Fourth house, family, home, background, comforts, real estate, shelter, self-care. This is why they want to negatively impact that. Challenge. This is why, because you with the sun and shiznit, with the Saturn, you exposing shit, enlightened, which helps to align with your sovereignty, which helps others to do the same, which is a problem, which is why they have to make you crazy. You done this. You done this. You done this, collective. You know what I'm saying? You didn't figure out about them them black boxes, them fucking, the control boxes. You know about it. Oh, they don't like that shit. It may be one in the what you call it. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna look into it. It may be one in the what you call it mall. I did see some weird some weird draconian or reptilian or arconian. I can't remember which one. I saw that grid. I looked down and it was right in the middle, and I wonder if it's still there. I saw that shit. I was like, Eureka, bitch. Anywho, listen. I was like, yeah. I knew something felt off by this. I knew something felt. Anywho. Complexity. That's the yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mystifies, complicates, contradicts, clashes. This is a problem for them. Educates, transforms, baby. Ooh, This is a problem. So that you have to be crazy. You have to be crazy, even though they can't make theirs show up either. Okay, it's on the yeah. Are they coming to court? Anyway. But this is why you have to be crazy. You have to be. They have to create that. Jupiter, there's this nigga. But this is why you have to be crazy. You have to be. They have to create that. Jupiter, there's this nigga. Generosity, benevolence is on this card. That's what you rocking. Okay. Whoop. Huh? Shit. Mercury. Communication. They can't handle it. Somebody's a master of communications and they loathe it entirely. Okay, here we go. They loathe this shit. That's why I gotta turn you crazy. That's why they gotta turn you crazy. But see, this is what's gonna also bite them in the ass. Because as you're pondering very well, if we want to evaluate so-called mental health based on one's philosophical, religious, or spiritual bents, then everybody is in the hot seat. You're not going to be able to just on the side of, because this is just not working for you, it's not in your favor. So you then want to lean into that to kind of say this person, somebody needs to have power of attorney. Well, then who's going to have power of attorney over you? Because if this is the angle we going in, everyone's under the gun. Gemini is here, the butterfly. Child, the butterfly. It says curious, communicates, versatile, perceptive, connected, vocal, adaptive. Listen to that. Studious. Opposition. Balance here. You definitely got Capricorn, Leo, Gemini. Whoop. Air energy. Uranus. Uranus. Revolution. They know that this is a nigga. They know. So you have to be crazy. I'm telling y'all what I know. They know. This is a fucking revolution. That's why they got all these little monitoring spirits here. With all these flies. This is a fucking revolution. It's like, because it even says breakthroughs on the card. Originality, nigga. What, nigga? Technology. Humanitarian, the legit humanitarian. Not this fake shit. Okay, the legit humanitarian is not trying to oppress a people for one's own leverage. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so save it, toots. Okay, save it, red. Passion, fifth house. And look at, we got another carnival ride. There's the Ferris wheel here, and there's the swingy one where you be on it and it's like, wee. Performance, entertainment, creativity, love. Oh shit. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Let me get, hold on. Y'all ain't crazy. Collective, whoever you is, nigga. Oh, look at the pearl and the pearl or whatever that is in the moon. Feelings. And here you are again, Cap. Here you go again. Here you go again. Instinct. Huh? How you make the pearl? Then the sand get inside. How it work, y'all? The sand get inside the whatcha-jiggy and the friction and all of that, and over time and some shit. Whoa. Gut reaction, nurturing, comfort, digestion, home, family, habits, femininity, lineage, privacy, embodiment, sustenance, self-soothing. Cap. That motherfucker. They know that with this revolutions and all of this, it's going to be something that could empower others. And if they get empowered in this way, they ain't gonna be able to capitalize off of toxicity anymore. Oh, I said it. Did I say it out loud? Scorpio, interesting. The shit people was hiding, these animalistic, primitive kind of behaviors and whatnots. That's just, obsessive energies here. Lusty. Because maybe you're resourceful and mysterious and regenerative. And then people get into this destructive, manipulative stuff here in secret. And that you can reveal this, or that you are revealing it. What's hidden under that moon. Maybe that'll be an end to all of that, being able to sit there and torture people and benefit off of. Sitting there benefiting off of torturing people and shit. What kind of weirdy shit is that, you know? But you're the one that they wanted to look at mental evaluation. See the complexity of that statement. Benefiting off of torturing people. But the ones in which they are tortured is so-called in need of mental evaluation. I told you, and Mercury came out. Communications. So we have Mercury, Uranus, Jupiter. We got a lot of planets. Mercury, Uranus. And we got the sun and the moon. Look it, check. We got the sun and the moon out. That's illumination. That's eclipse. That's illumination. That's revelation. What's creating complexities in your life and creating complexities in other people's lives. But communication here. Mercury, Uranus, revolution, communication, expansion, wisdom, being, feelings. Okay. Communicating feelings does not mean you're crazy, because you can communicate what's being hidden, what they've hidden from the masses, with Saturn leading the energy. Whoop. Let's see what you done mastered. You done done something. You done done something. You done done something. You done done something. Whoop. Huh? You done done something. I saw addiction. Okay, what has the High Vibe Collective, if this is for them, whenever they see this at some point on YouTube or wherever they see it, because it's timeless, it's whenever they see it. Okay, what if they master something, and because of this mastery, the masses on a macro scale, whether this is groups, families, government, state, are trying to create mental health as a concern, trying to do stuff to affect this person's mental health. And if they're not effective with that, they're trying to make the person, say they're this based on their spirituality or whatever. They must have mastered something. What did they do? What happened? Something did. What did they master? They alchemized something. May not be everything, but they mastered something. They done something. They done alchemized something. They done cleared something. They done aligned. What did they do that's got these energies in an uproar? What did they master? Light, let there be light, and there is light. Truth, inner soul, inner self, oversoul. Activate. Universal flow, baby. Lyra, they are aware of their origins. They are aware of the universal flow of energy. They're aware. For some of them are starseeds, they're aware that they come from Lyra. Child. Orion, something to do with Orions. They're aware that they're clearing out comparison. Maybe they're tapping into their true identity. This with this universal flow. This is what they've mastered. Whoever you are, collective. Because I asked, what did you do? What did you master? What did you align with? What did you alchemize? It's got these people in a thither. And it came out Lyra. Awareness, universal flow. And your whole, oh shit, nigga, nah, nigga. Wholeness. It says wholeness on the top. Wholeness. Pleiades came in. So it looks like Lyra and Pleiades. It came in with expanded nigga. Anyway, yeah, y'all done it. You done it now. You done this. You done this. You done this. Huh? Somebody gonna say, she sound like Martin. Possibly. The show Martin. Because I be saying Sands from that street. You done this. That's how he was talking with his funny self. Let's see here. Boom. Oh, I knew it. Sirius is coming in, or Sirius. So you may have connections with Lyra and Cyrus. Okay, initiation. Oh, you done initiated this abundance right here. This flow, it says universal flow of abundance. Maybe you know, and maybe you oh, this is crazy. Oh, that is scary for them. I can see this. I can see that. This makes sense. Because if you can tap into that, then they can't really control you the same way, which also leads to be a problem for all. Because if you start a revolution, just as a byproduct, not because you're trying to go around being weird like some of these other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just a byproduct. Okay? You Sirius must have come in for you and initiated something. So we have Pleiades, Lyra, and Sirius, and we even have the Orion. So the 4 pillars, you know, nigga. You done this. You done this. Something about the confusion. What they did, what they've been stealing to confuse. Something about clarity. What they've been stealing. What they've been trying to confuse. Wait, did I do it wrong? Freedom. Freedom. Pleiades, expansion of freedom. Yes. You done freed yourself because your self-worth. Yeah, your self-worth. Your self-worth here. Unconditional love. We got Pleiades. Lyra again. Pleiades. And then Lyra again 3 times. Definitely somebody may have Lyrian. Strong Lyrian connection. And with the divinity, we're going to call this the divinity, the line of connection within you, the vine, and the true source of light. Lyra, awareness. You became aware of what the true source of light, energy, you became aware that it's unconditional love and it's a universal flow, and that self-worth and abundance, you know, that's what it comes from, that's what it's drawn from, and how they've been hijacking that, bringing confusion to keep people. Yeah, you got yourself a new perspective. You're somebody that gained a new perspective on things, and you're bringing this forward. Serious initiation. Cyrus initiation. Osiris, what is it? Come here. Osiris. Osiris, what's the matter? What's the matter? What's wrong with Osiris? Am I doing too much again? What's the matter? What's the matter with him, Osiris? Yes. What's the matter? It's a good boy. What's the matter with it? What's the matter with Osiris? You a good boy? Osiris, him good boy? Yes. Yes, him is. Okay. I don't think your brother ready to get up. You want to play with him, brother? Aw. What you doing? Go eat. You got eat. Osiris. Osiris. Okay. Ciao. I'll put this one on my YouTube. Look at that new perspective, beautiful judgment. You know, you start clearing out this judgment and shame. You know, people was trying to get you to hold on to shame or trying to shame you. That's not true divinity or the source of light creation. That's not it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so what is the true current energy of the collective then? You know, they're not crazy. They can see clearly through all of this shit here. And as a result, whatever this true energy that the collective is currently in, this is also what's got these people in a thither, even if they're hiding it. It's why they're working overtime in secret, you know what I'm saying, doing the very things that they're doing here. So what's the true, not what things appear to be, not what they're trying to convince the world that is the collective, but what is their true energy, their true vibration? It's the state of being. We're not talking about momentary feelings that's based on just external moments, but the essence, the frequency, the setting, their embodiment. What are they currently truly in, which got these toxic energies terrified, concerned, or worried? This crossed the moon and the animal with Scorpio. A new beginning. Okay, so you're maybe feeling, excited. It says here, your willpower and new beginnings assist with difficult and great undertakings. You're ready for this difficult and great undertaking here. You're putting something to an end. You're transforming something. You're doing it in secret, but you're highly intuitive here. That's what you're embodying. It said the exalting God. New beginning. Eight of Pentacles. It says intellectual talent provides knowledge. God, the teacher. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Ooh, why is that? You about to take down something? Or whatever they was doing here. You're going on a new beginning. Ten of Cups. Yeah, you're going towards your happiness. Or you're embodying something that is about to take down what's been coming against your happiness. Whether this is family, why is that Eight of Pentacles in the reverse though, specifically? So why are these people, oh, they scared that that's not working? Because I was going to say, why are they concerned about an Eight of Pentacles in the reverse on behalf of the collective? Why is that something that's concerning to them? Why is that something concerning to them? This toxic energy. Emperor in reverse. Oh, because they're losing control of a situation. They can't control you. Maybe people know what they're doing is not working. Know what they're doing is not working. Or they can't affect your work, or they can't affect your development, or they can't affect your happiness. Osiris, what's the matter? Every time I start talking, what's your matter? What's your matter? Come here. What's your matter with him, Osiris? What's your matter? Come here. Osiris, come here. Come here. Nope. Oh, you want to play. That's what it is. You want to play? Okay, we'll play. We'll play in a little bit, okay? Osiris, I'll pay in a minute, okay? Go get your toy. Where's your toy? Okay, Lord have mercy. Temperance, because you're healing. You're gaining balance. You're balancing out. This shit is not working. This is not working. Them trying to frustrate you. Them trying to stop. This is why they're concerned, because you're an earth angel, temperance angel, or whatever this is here. A reconciliation they could be concerned about. Some kind of reconciliation regains the favor of those who One has offended. So people could have originally been offended by you, but there could be people that's really starting to see that you were the earth angel the whole goddamn time. That they can't, so they're concerned that you're going to have favor, that you're gaining the favor of people because you're balancing out and people are seeing that. This could be to do with a work environment, why something didn't work out, or something to do with a job. Or like I said, all their hard work, all of that work they've been putting in. Four of Swords, yeah. Six of Pentacles. So they're embodying this temperance energy. Ten of Cups. You're going towards happiness. And you're letting go. You're letting go of any control issues. You're essentially just letting go of things that are toxic, things that's out of your control, things that are not working for you, or people that don't want to work with you, people that are not developed, people that's trying to stop your development. I don't have the Queen of Swords, but you have the Fool energy. Temperance, Major Arcana, the Fool. Major Arcana. I asked why they were concerned, and when I asked why they were concerned, I got the Emperor reverse, Eight of Pentacles reverse. Seven of Swords. This is that sneaky energy, that stealing, that lying. Okay, it says knowledge of good and evil appeases divine anger, cures epilepsy. God nurturing and maintaining everything. So yeah, what people have been doing to you in secret, you could be moving in secret. What people have been doing to you and your children. You're healing from that. Why is Seven of Swords here? Temperance. Maybe they're scared you're going to sneak away. Why are they afraid? What is this? The Temperance and the Seven of Swords that they're concerned with pertaining to the collective here. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, their investments. They're concerned with that their investments, their plans, that this was poor investments. Stealing from you, taking from you, attacking you. Discernment, general prosperity, the deliverance of prisoners. They may be as concerned that they're going to jail. It says the lovely God. They may be concerned, yeah, that these investments, what they've been doing, their plans. They may also be concerned that you're going to retrieve something, or you're going to interrupt their plans. The Devil is in the reverse. Yes, their obsessions, their addictions, yes, what they've been doing. That this is going to be put to a halt. This is also a narcissistic injury they can be concerned about with the Emperor in the reverse here. And the Devil reverse. These obsessions. These Ten of Swords. These obsessions with betraying you. They're concerned about this Ten of Swords coming for them because of what they've been doing to you and your children over and over again. They're concerned about going to jail for some of these people. They are. They're concerned about going to jail, or they're concerned about what's going to happen to them because of it. If they're not concerned about jail, they're concerned about what's going to end up happening to them and their people. 5 of Cups. Yeah. What they were doing for prosperity. It says destruction of the enemy and deliverance from bondage. Yeah, you all are getting from the bondage, you know what I'm saying, that they was trying to create, the destruction that they were creating here. Two of Swords is coming to reverse. So they're concerned about this exposure and things being made perfectly clear, and you all being totally liberated and free, and other people getting totally liberated and free. Okay. Ooh. Final message. Let's get y'all's a final message of encouragement from Osiris the cat, and maybe an angel number. Final message from Osiris the cat for the collective, and angel number. I didn't even use those other cards, but what else? Final message for the High Vibe Collective Tribe pertaining to this reading from Osiris the cat. From Osiris. There it is. Oh, he over there on that stuff. Okay, it says here, inhale courage, exhale fear, he says. The only way up is up. You're only going up from here. It's okay. The only way, yes, you're going up. It's okay. These people that already did the most to you and your children, time and time again. Stay curious, learn something new. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. Sunshine, be a sunshine. Make him happy when skies are gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Give your best today, and you won't regret tomorrow. Yeah, just continue to do your best. He says the question isn't who's going to let you, it's who's going to stop you. Can't nobody stop you. You don't need permission. All that's a part of the programming. Over approval seeking. You deserve to take breaks and recharge your energy. Go get you some donuts. I like this one. And with this, like the pumpkin color here, you might like pumpkin spice. It may be the fall season. It's like, shit, just go get you a donut. Some coffee, bitch. Recharge your energy. My self-care is a priority. It's a priority. Shit. Wrap yourself up, take a bubble bath and shit. Whoa. We ain't got shit to prove. And we not in a race or competition with no one other than ourselves, essentially. Okay? They can think what they want. Yes, oftentimes people be thinking you must be defeated or you must be lost or ashamed or humiliated. That's their ignorance. And that's because typically that's possibly what it means for them. You know what I mean? When they go incognito or when they go because they're attention seeking 24/7. So for them, when they go there, it means that. For you, it's balance. It's balancing things out. I will listen to my favorite music today. Maybe some music. Make each day a masterpiece. Okay, Osiris. Lovely cards here. It says, be bright, be brave, and be you. Be bright, be brave, and be you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cycles. Wheel of Fortune. You're amazing. Okay. And angel numbers. I said let's get the message from Osiris the cat. And let's see. Riddle me this. Angel numbers. Let's see. I'm turning these into cards. But for now, there's like maybe 300 cards that has to be made here. But let's see. Base numbers, okay. Let's see where I land. Without looking, I'll see. Okay, so we got 2 different numbers, and let's see what the message is. Okay, 98. 98 could have been a significant year for somebody. Okay. It says, reach out, reconnect with spirituality. Don't settle for less. Your team will send this message to the warrior spirits like you who are always looking out for others, but rarely reaching out for help. They're asking you to reach out or take care of you so that you can continue to take care of others, okay? Address the issue at hand. So taking care of yourself, whatever that means for you. Maybe today, it says they will simply want you to address the issue at hand, which most likely will need some practice to fix. We'll also send the number when you've been undervaluing yourself. Don't settle for less than your worth. That might mean taking another job or leaving a relationship that does not treat you fairly. Something that does not treat you fairly. I know my worth and I won't settle for less. Abracadabra. Command. I am a sovereign being of light and benevolence. I am empowered. How so? How do I know my worth? And how do I not settle for less? Why do I so easily know my own worth and no longer settle for less? How does it feel to know my own worth and to not settle for less? What does that look like? What does it smell like? What does that taste like? What does that feel like? Why is that so easily what I embody? How so? How is it? How so? Abracadabra. So it is. Boom. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Cut back. Don't be afraid. Spiritual visitations. You need to cut back on excesses. If you're overworking, cut back on the amount of time. If you're indulging in bad habits, reassess priorities. It's just a nudge. Okay? There's no reason to be afraid. You'll deal with the situation that taps into a deep-seated fear, and you're not sure if you can handle it. Your team knows you can. Stop worrying about it or the what ifs, or try to. You're much braver. Okay? It's time to reprioritize your life. Okay? Make a statement out loud within your home. Make a statement out loud within your home. What does it say? Only those entities of pure love and light are allowed here. All other entities, love and light and benevolence, are allowed here. All other entities must go. Command. Be gone. No malevolence is allowed to dwell in this space. Abracadabra. Florida water, incense, whatever. So this is about our space. Maybe we've been feeling overwhelmed by the toxicities. So clearing up the space. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else from here? Okay, I just saw 111. Can you see it? Transformation, triple blessings, new beginnings. You're going through a transformation when you receive this angel number. A transformation is a new phase of life and changes everything, like a pregnancy, college acceptance, retirement. Your team is sending extra love when you go through these crucial life moments. It's also representing of triple blessings in your life. This is going to be like a raise. It could be anything. Okay, new beginnings. You're about to embark on a new adventure, and your team is right there. Affirmation: my blessings flow into my life in every now moment, from all directions of time and space, and all elements, in every area of my life, in every place. Abracadabra. Let there be light, and there is light. And how is this so? Nice. And there you have it. Now, and there you have it. Now, here's a encouragement from me. We got Cyrus the cat. Let's get an encouragement from me. Let's see. Encouragement from old Bloomy Bloom. From me. From old Bloomy Bloom. You are exquisite. Collective. Maybe you need an egg cleanse that's trying to take away your exquisiteness. Do an egg cleanse maybe to remove what's trying to dim that, steal that, or weigh that down. You're so cool. I'm here for you. Okay, and I am. I'm here for you. I'm here. I can hear you. I'm listening. I have a good memory. There's an elephant there. Have a slam dunk day. You got this. Have a cherry-rific day. Maybe eat some cherries. Now, maybe the cherry on top. Put the cherry on top. It's totally cool. Don't worry, be happy now. Ooh, 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 ooh. it's a cliche, right? Don't worry, be happy now. And essentially what I really believe I'm saying with this is some things are out of our control. This is not escapism. It's not passivity. It's not spiritual bypassing. It's not toxic positivity. It's doing all that you can, where you can, how you can, and every now and moment. But in the meantime, why do we have to be robbed? There is a creative way we can find it or align to it. Be happy. Maybe that does something for our frequency that changes the game, which is why they want you unhappy to begin with. You're so cool. It keeps coming out. You're a gem. That's my jam. One day at a time. Okay? You're fantastic. There you have it. I'll possibly put this on my YouTube for y'all to see it from start to finish. Okay? You're not crazy. You've just aligned to what the truth is, which is a problem for those who need to have leverage and power and control and benefit off of people being ignorant.